Hey guys, what's up? Alec back with the daily stock market, and look at that. We have AMD up 3% today, Neo up 3%, and Apple up 2.7%. We're seeing a fairly green day today. As we scroll down, we only see Enphase Energy in the red right now, and they're only down by 0.5%. So a lot of stocks in the stock market are green today. So that is a breath of fresh air, especially with all the red and negative sentiments we've been seeing in the market lately. Today, we're going to be going over a quick stock market update. We're going to jump into a few different stocks like AMD and Nvidia. So let's jump right into it and let's make it a quick one today. We have AMD up 3.3%, okay, at $67 per share. Last month, it's down 8%. And in the last 3 months, we see AMD down 10%, with them as low as $57 per share at one point. In the last year, we see an easy down trending pattern right now. So overall, I think AMD is going to be headed lower to around $45 to $55 per share. So personally, I'm going to be pressing price alert and setting price alert for below $45 per share on AMD. As we scroll down, keep in mind this is a great company. It's a growth company, not much a value company. We have a market cap around 108 billion, PE ratio around 38. I want to see that PE ratio under 25 to get a better deal from AMD. And if we see the share price around $45 per share, I think that'll be very beneficial for swing trade, long-term traders, and almost every trader under the sun. We see an all-time high of $155 per share. So if it does get back to new all-time highs and I buy around $45 per share, that would be a 200 to 300% gain on the share price. Okay, now some bullish things about AMD to consider. AMD is a huge competitor to Intel, INTC in the stock market, and also Nvidia. If you ever hear chips, chip servers, or chip companies, chip factories, mainly the biggest ones are going to be AMD, Nvidia, Intel, and then the Taiwan semiconductor industries, okay? All right, here we have AMD's income statement pulled up year over year. We can see that they are growing tremendously from a negative earning company to 350 million their first year of profit in 2018 to now over 3.1 billion in profit. So they're growing net income very rapidly, which is a good thing for any investor to see. They're also growing total revenue very rapidly, growing from 5.2 billion all the way to 16 billion over the course of 5 years, growing on average around 20 to 30% on total revenue per year. That's astonishing, and an A plus there. Here we see a brilliant balance sheet. Debt to asset ratio is now under 40%. If we look at a quarterly basis, so it's a more up to date, we can see that the debt to asset ratio is actually under 20%, which is fantastic and one of the best things and one of the most refreshing things about owning a stock like AMD. You know, their balance sheet is fantastic. Okay, you can see in 2021 Q4 to 2022 Q1, they grew their assets tremendously, almost by 5 times. Okay, they have 500% growth on their assets. So if I was a heavy investor into AMD, I would want to look and see what kind of assets are these? How did they accumulate so many assets so rapidly? If it's a part of their business model or if it was more of a luck-based thing. Moving right along in the video, so it doesn't make it a long video, we have Nvidia up, all right, 2.6% on the day, 7% in the past month. We see a bullish chart in the past month, and there's a good chance that Nvidia could move closer to the resistance of around $175 per share. Okay, in the last 3 months, we can see that that bullish chart is continuing, and from lows, they're already up around 50% just in the span of 2 to 3 months. So we can see that they are a growth rocket. They are a stock that moves very quickly. And yes, they are down 41% in just the past year. So there could be a buying opportunity. There could be another big dip again. Personally, I want to buy with my price alerts around $115 to $125 per share. Buying most around 115 or lower for long-term investing. I think Nvidia is going to be a great part of your portfolio of anyone's portfolio, we can see that they are a little bit overvalued compared to something like AMD. Just recently, remember in the last 3 months, they did rise around 25 to 40% from lows. So their market cap has tremendously shot up to 400 billion just in the last 3 months. The PE ratio shot up. I personally want to see that PE ratio a lot lower, the market cap a lot lower to get a better deal on Nvidia for long term. But they could be a great corner of anyone's portfolio, AMD and Nvidia. Let's jump into the fundamentals around Nvidia to see if they can compete with something like AMD. And here we have Nvidia pulled up, and look at that net income growing exorbitant amounts from 2.9 billion to 9.75 billion. This is why the stock market loves this stock, is because they are extremely profitable and they're growing their profitability. Now, if we go to total revenue, they're also growing their total revenue around 20 to 30% per year as well. So they're a growth revenue monster, just like AMD. They're a net income growth monster. Their balance sheet isn't as attractive, though. Here we can see it's still under 40% debt to asset ratio, but those liabilities are quite higher than something like AMD. Now, if we go to the most recent quarter, we can see that their debt to asset ratio is getting worse. They're taking on more liabilities and losing a little bit of assets. So personally, I think AMD is a better deal in the stock market at this exact moment. I like Nvidia company better overall to own, but I want to see them come down to that $115 mark before I'm going to start buying for long term. The last one we'll talk about today is going to be Intel INTC, which is a competitor. They're all competitors with each other, so it's a great video to kind of understand the differences between the three different stocks. We have Intel down 8.2% in the past month, and in the past year, they're down 46%. This has been around a 5-year low for Intel, around $25, $26 per share. You can even see that they are at a 5-year low, unlike AMD or AMD or Nvidia, excuse me. So Intel is a very interesting stock considering the price. It's one of the best deals in this video that we're talking about compared to AMD and Nvidia. The PE ratio, as you can see, is only 8. Okay, so you're only paying 8 times earning on something like Intel, which is very, very attractive. Market cap is 110 billion, and they are a dividend stock with a huge paying dividend, 5.4% on that dividend yield. So holy cow, that's a nice dividend stock. Now in this channel, we are going to be doing a deeper dive into Intel stock, so make sure you're subscribed with post notifications on, because they definitely do need a bigger deep dive than just the surface level stuff that we're talking about in this video. Okay, there's a lot of stuff that's changing for Intel, their business side, their management, so we will dive into all that in the future. Make sure you subscribe with post notifications on. Here we can see Intel is not really growing their total revenue that much, not by double digits. They've only grown from 62 billion to 79 billion, which is still a growth, but over 5 years, the peers like AMD and Nvidia are significantly beating it. This is why the stock is down significantly, is because they're not growing their net income like the other companies are. Now, they are a very profitable company with 19 billion in net income, okay? And that's way more than AMD or Nvidia, but they're just not growing, and the stock market likes to see that year-over-year growth. The balance sheet is also pretty good. We can see that the debt to assets under 50. It's not as good as AMD. So in my opinion, AMD is going to be the best one of all in this video. They're at the sweet spot at the current price. You know, Nvidia is a little bit overvalued. INTC is a little bit undervalued, but it could be some shaky stuff happening with INTC, so it's a little bit of a risk. Remember, make sure you check out that deep dive video that's going to come next on the channel. And I hope you guys appreciate these quick stock market updates where I go over some of the competitors and go over my thoughts on which one's the best deal in the stock market right now. If you appreciate that, smash a thumbs up, share with a friend, subscribe on YouTube. If you want to join my close friends list where you see exactly what I'm buying, how much I'm buying, option trading, swing trading, long-term trading, and everything in between, click on success number 6, read some positive success testimonials, and then all you have to do is just message me here at the Daily Stock Market. Now 186,000 followers, 641 posts. So message me here. I'll send you over an application. That way I can help you out the best way possible. I'll shoot you over my website so you can see how much everything costs. And if it makes sense to you and if it's inside your budget, then let's go ahead and make some money in the stock market together. Thank you guys for the love and support. I'll see you in the next video. And remember, don't time the market, buy the market. Peace.